Okay. Good morning, Mr. Junim. Please unmute yourself and wave to us if you are seeing us.
Good morning, everybody.
Good
Can you hear
morning.
me well?
Yes, very well. Okay. So, as I always like to do, sorry, Mr. Junim, you can't partake, but your wife will drink for you. Both of you are one. Okay. Okay. Now let's get down to the question. The key. Okay. Mr. Junim, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this question is for you. This question is for you. As a second generation who has, received the blessing, what does the blessing mean to you?
And before I start, I would like to thanks for this opportunity that you gave to us and to take, how can I say, wait. And first of all, as you know, Angola is not English country. We are Portuguese country. Maybe during my speech, I will make some mistakes. Yes. And I would like to understand me
Okay, no problem.
because I'm not native speaker.
You are doing very well. You're doing very well. Thank you.
Yes, can you hear me very well?
Yeah.
According to the question, as a second gen as I am, and what does meaning blessing for me? First of all, we need to speak about what our two parents say about blessing. Blessing is to change the lineage. They change the lineage, but we are second gen. We are in new lineage.
Yes. Please be with us. Okay. Let's continue. We'll go back to that question when he comes on. Okay, Mrs. Jeewon, how was the matching process for you? And what are some of the challenges you faced? Story.
Sorry. Once upon a time. For me, the matching process, for one thing, I can say our process was very formal in the sense that we didn't know each other at all. Even our parents didn't know each other. It was from the parents' matching convocation that his parents saw my profile and they contacted the Blessed Family Department head. So the whole thing was very formal, like all the national leaders were in the meeting when we were doing the introduction and everything. But during the process, I would say one thing is that we were both very clear about what we wanted from the process. We both went in and knowing that we wanted to find someone to go to the blessing directly. It wasn't like, let's try it and see how it goes. So we were very clear about what our goals were, and so we just went straight to the point. And during the process, the challenge, I think my challenge was trying to compromise on some of the things that I wanted out of a partner. Yeah, not on the fundamental things like the internal qualities. I wasn't willing to compromise on like your love for true parents or your ability to communicate well. I wasn't willing to compromise on those things. But like, for one thing, he doesn't like it when I say this, but I always wanted to be blessed to a francophone person, to someone from a French country. So when we got the proposal from his family and they said that they were Portuguese speakers, I'm like, what? I don't even like Portuguese. It sounds like Spanish gone wrong. It was very difficult for me to accept that this is the language. Oh my god, why? So the other day I even asked him, why didn't you come as a French person? So I had to compromise on that. And also his age, because he's older than me, but just by some months. He was born in September 1999, and I was born February 2000. So it's just a few months. And I always wanted someone who was born like 1997 or latest 1998. So, because I wanted someone who was mature and could communicate and could be protective, because I always had that in my older brother. And for me, that was like the standard. But I said, okay, it's not what I wanted, but let me give it a chance and see how it's going to go. But when we started to communicate, I noticed that he was actually very mature, even too mature. Because sometimes, like when he does something I don't like, and I prepare myself to argue. Yeah. So when he does something I don't like, and I prepare myself that I'm going to tell you did this and that, and if he justifies, I'm going to give him an argument for
Prepare the arguments in advance.
So I prepare my arguments, but then when I go, I say you did this and I didn't like it. He'll just say, "I'm so sorry. I'm going to do my best to change it."
Well, you can't do anything anymore. Okay, wow, that's very nice. So you went in, knowing what you wanted, and you were not going in to just be like, oh, let me just see if it doesn't work, I'll change. You just went to that. Okay, if I meet this person, we're going to try to work it out, and then we'll go to the blessing together. That's very good. Okay, Mr. Junim, are you okay now?
You're still muted.
Okay, are you okay now? Okay, so
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. Okay, you can answer the first question. You can continue.
Yes, I'm so sorry for that moment because someone called me and I got disconnected on internet. Yes, according to the first question, as I was saying, blessing for second gen means that we need to keep the lineage that the true parents gave to us. What does it mean? As we are second gen, we are going to have a children, and this children is going to be the third gen, and after this children fourth gen, and also, and the importance of this is to create some lineage that they are going to be connected to God. This is the meaning what I think about the blessing.
Yes, thank you so much for that answer. Sometimes as second gens, we already know that we don't have the original sin. The reason our parents, took the blessing was to remove their original sin. So now us, what is our reason? Why do we have to, take the blessing? So he has given us the perfect answer. That is for us to keep and to maintain the lineage your parents has given to our parents, pass it on to us, and we pass it to our children like that, and we'll see that the whole world will be liberated. So thank you so much, Mr. Johnny, for that wonderful answer. Okay, you've answered your question already. Okay, so Mr. Johnny, back to you again. So at what point did you decide that, our beautiful sister here was the person you wanted to get blessed with?
And first of all, and when the matching process, as the Jeewon said, and our first contact was in that meeting on Zoom meet that we shared a contact. And when I was looking her, yes, oh my God, she's beautiful.
There's
Uh, she's beautiful. She was so quiet. How can I say? She was so calm. She wasn't speaking a lot of. And after that day, after that day, and also that day, I saw a picture. How can I say? On Zoom meeting, when someone disconnect the video, stay some picture. Oh, she's a diplomatic woman. Oh my God. Yes, I like it so much. And uh, during the hour talking, we're talking about a lot of things, and I was looking that, oh, she's a girl that I want because she has energy, good energy, and she was helping me to change some things like I didn't. How can I say? I didn't like to laugh in Vine. I'm always concentrated. Yes, I was always concentrated. Yes, and she was helping me to change this. And in that moment, only 1 week, I decided I'm going to Jeewon to the blessing, and also physical structure. Yes, the physical structure. Yes.
Wow, this is so beautiful to hear. Okay, so Jeewon, you didn't laugh for 1 week. Thank God he's laughing because throughout this interview he has been smiling, so you've done a good job. Wow. Okay, on to the next question. This is directed to Jeewon. So, what are some of the internal and external? Because when you are going through this whole process, you have to face challenges. You understand? So, what are some of those internal and external challenges you faced, as an individual and as a couple?
This one, my answer is long. I hope we have time.
So we're here to learn.
Alright, so I want to start with the external because that one's shorter. The external challenge we faced was going through all the bureaucracy of Angola and even just the part of preparing to meet. Because originally I wanted to go to Angola for the blessing. So when I came here, I started immediately my process with the embassy. But those people frustrated me. Oh my God.
Nigeria.
It wasn't even only Nigeria, like the Angolan embassy themselves. Like when they say you need to bring this document, when I bring that document, they say no, the other one is missing. And then I'll bring that one before they'll ask for the other thing. I'm like, what do you want? Just tell me. And then so I wanted to go for the blessing initially in April, but I ended up going in September. So that can tell you how much challenging that was. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was one of the external challenges that we faced together. For the internal one, this is very sensitive. After the blessing, a few weeks after the blessing, I don't think it was up to a month, I started to question my decision. Yes. I was having serious second thoughts about my blessing. And I was asking myself, what have I done? Like, am I sure this is the person? Did I rush to make this decision? Maybe I should have waited a longer time. And there were some things that were making that negative thought to even grow more, because he's a very basic person. My spouse, he likes to work all the time. So when I was going through those doubts, I stopped making the effort to initiate communication. And so since he's busy, whenever I don't reach out to him, it's an opportunity for him to go and work some more. So it was like our communication kind of cut, because from the beginning of the matching process, the second day after we talked, first day we decided what condition we'll do, and from the second day, every day we read together and we prayed together. And not just home care books, we read Johnson Young Book 5 on True Family, but also we read some self-help book like the Matching Handbook, which I recommend for people in the matching process. And also,
so write that down, Matching Handbook.
Yeah, it has some questions that you can ask each other to figure out your plans. And then also some other self-help books. We read, I think, 3 to 4 books together already. So we stopped doing that in that period. And also, there were just a lot of other things that kept coming to my mind. I also thought he was shorter than me, like significantly. So that was also bothering me. Just many things. So I was struggling with that, and it was a very lonely time for me because I couldn't even tell anybody. I felt like no one would understand because Julian is such a good person. I think my mother loves him more than me. So I was like, where am I going to start? Like, no one will understand how I feel. Even myself, I was feeling ashamed for feeling that way. So I couldn't even deal with it. And so what I told myself was just similar to what I said when I thought that he was not mature enough, is just try and see how it goes. So I just focused on working out the process, doing my best to raise my ticket money, to get the visa, and just go and meet him and see how it's going to be. Like, so I told myself, I'm not going to give up until I actually try. So I went to Angola. And you would think that when we met, everything was okay. Well, when we met, I found out that actually he's not as short as I thought he was. So yeah.
So we scratched that one off.
But even while I was there, it didn't get better. For the first 1 week, it wasn't better. I didn't like the way he walked. I was just focusing on all the things I didn't like. I didn't like the way he walked, and I've been away from him for a while, so I wasn't used to always having family around. So it was a little overwhelming. Every time you're doing something, you have to explain that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it was just many things. And also, he was being very vague about his plans, like the things that we discussed about during the matching process. I wasn't seeing any of them coming to life. And there was this time I asked him about his plan to visit Liberia, and his answer was so vague that it hurt my feeling. I felt like, okay, maybe he feels like this is just someone who just came to him freely. He just went for this Zoom meeting and they introduced someone to him, and now she's his wife. So it was convenient for him. So he's just going to be relaxed, and everything will happen according to his convenience. So all that made the negative emotions to just grow in my head. But then I watched this video on Heinga website, and some couples, first generation elder couples who have been together for more than 30 years, they were sharing, and the wife said something that for her, after two parents matched them, she was very inspired that particular day, and she made a resolution, and she was determined, and everything was beautiful. But after that day, that feeling just left her, and she suddenly felt like she had this baby in her lap, and she didn't know what to do with him. And I could relate to that feeling. Not that I see my husband as a baby, because he's too mature to even. I'm the one who likes to act like a baby, but I felt like I had this person in my life, and I didn't know what to do with him. And his failures would be my failures, and his success will have to be my success. It was very overwhelming to think about. But then this lady was sharing that she felt that way, and even after some time she left the country that she and her husband were in, and he had to follow her, and he was determined. For him, he was very excited about the process from the beginning, and he continued to keep that excitement. That's how my spouse was. As he said, he made his decision after 1 week, and he's never changed that decision. So when she was explaining that, I said, but this is also how I'm feeling. But this couple is here, they're still together today after more than 30 years. So that means at least there's hope. So, and while I was watching that video, he asked me at the same time, because we were at church, but they were doing some service project. They were not doing regular Sunday service. So we were just sitting there, and I was watching the video. So he asked me, what's happening? You don't look okay, you're not happy, like you're different. And that's one of the things I like about him. He observes very well. So I told him, okay, we're going to talk about it when we get home. So when we got home, we were able to at least find a private space, because like I said, there was always people around. So we kind of came out of the house, and I think it was the first time we really had a proper private conversation. And I told him that I'm having second thoughts about our blessing. And I'm not saying it because I want to end things. I don't want to end things. I want to work through it and feel better about it. But what I'm saying is that right now I'm not happy in our relationship. And when we were in the matching process, for me, it wasn't like I have to get married when I'm in love. So I was just looking for the qualities that I need, and with time, the love is going to develop. And so that was my mindset. Once the qualities are there, we're going to be happy. But after the blessing, I realized I wasn't happy. So like, I don't know why is that happening. I wasn't happy. I wasn't in love. And so I told him that I'm not happy, and I don't like where I am. I don't want to go back. It doesn't mean I want to go back, but I want to move forward, and I want to feel better about our relationship. I don't want to be in it just because I can't end it now. So he was very shocked, and he looked very stressed. Like, oh my God. So I asked him, are you happy? He's like, yeah, I'm happy. Why I won't be happy? You're here.
You're here, you're beautiful.
Yeah, he was so happy that he was introducing me to everybody at work, at home. Everybody, I'm like, oh my God. That means I really can't turn back now, because everybody knows me. What am I going to do? Yeah. So, but then he asked me a question that really helped the whole process. He said, what can I do? And I think that really changed the whole thing in whether I should go back or whether I should move forward with this person. And I told him a few things that were bothering me. I think I don't like the way you walk, but you can change that. So, but I don't like also the way you dress. And so he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, you have to get new clothes or different clothes. He's like, I have other clothes, but I don't like them. I'm like, okay, we have to look at them, and I'll choose the one that you can wear and the one you can't wear, because I don't like what you're wearing. And then I also told him about the whole communication issue, that I didn't know where his plans were going. So it's like he was living a separate life and I was living mine, and I didn't want that. So he took into consideration all the things that I mentioned, and after that we went and we checked among the clothes and selected, and also he explained to me more clearly like what was happening, Because I think there are some men like that who they like to keep quiet about their plans. When it happens, you see it. But I needed to know what was happening. I needed to know that there was progress being made. It's not just something vague. So when he was able to open up about that, and we started doing our conditions again, and every evening we would talk and read together and pray together. So with time, I didn't even realize at what point, but that feeling just left me. So yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. This was a very deep and internal sharing, and I hope we've learned a lot. What I was able to pick from it was that the fact that you have problems doesn't mean you should leave or you should just stand up and say, I'm not doing again. As we see outside, once there's little problem, they'll say, I'm not doing again. But she tried to figure out, she went into the blessing. I felt like she understood what the blessing meant. And so when she went, even if she was not feeling happy and excited, she still tried to sit down. She listened to podcasts to know how can she be better. And I love the fact that you both communicated how you felt and you resolved it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Very important.
Yeah. Okay. So the last question is for the both of them to answer. So I would like to start with Mr. Juni. So can you share with us some of your best and wonderful and amazing moments after the blessing? Mr. Juni, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, but sometimes during your speech, I'm not hearing you well, especially when Jeewon is speaking. And also some participants, they are asking, they are not hearing well when you are speaking.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
But can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you, but sometimes I'm not hearing clearly because when you change the microphone, yes,
I'm sorry about that. But did you get
yes,
my
don't worry.
question?
Yes, I understood your question. And to speak about what was the best moment after blessing? Yes, after blessing, my best moment was when Jeewon come to visit me in Angola. And first of all, we were waiting for her in airport. Yes, she was taking a lot of time to come. Where are you? I'm making check-in. Where are you? I'm in COVID test. Where are you? I'm waiting my my suitcase. So when I look her, oh my God, she's in Angola. She's in Angola. Oh my God. Someone so like was so different. Yeah, so I don't know how to describe. And when G1 come to our house and we get in, was looking everything. Oh my God. Sometimes I was laughing inside of me. Oh, I was so very happy. And when she see and we started eating, the way that she was eating was like, oh my God, something strange. Yes, because when I use it to eat that way, it was taking picture. Yes, it was my wonderful, amazing day for me after blessing. Yes.
Let's put our hands together for him.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so Jeewon, it's your turn.
My most. Can you hear me well? Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. My most wonderful moment. It was this night. So there's an international fellowship program that I applied for, and I did the application while I was in Angola. So during that time, he was very supportive. He would ask me how many essays I finished that day and how far I was with the application, and I completed it. And also the result came when I was in Angola still. I think I had one more week there. And that night, I knew that we were supposed to receive the result that day. but I didn't receive mine yet, so we were waiting. And then it became time for evening prayers. So we went for evening prayer, which is usually at I think 10 o'clock. And then after evening prayer, he and I, we had our condition. And then after that, I was doing my personal prayer. So by the time I finished, it was already after 12 o'clock. And I went to check my email before I sleep. I'm like, let me just check and see if I got the email. At that time, he was already in bed. So when I checked and I saw the email that 700 persons applied and we accepted 65. Congratulations, you were accepted. Oh, like, like, I have to tell Junior first. So I'm like, hey, wake up. Junior, wake up, come. And then he came outside. He's like, I know it's good news because the way she's shouting. And then he came and I told him I was accepted. I showed him the email. He was like, wow, congratulations, my hard girl intelligence. I was so proud of you. And then he hugged me. And I was just very happy for that moment, like the way he celebrated me. It was like that kind of moment you see on the TV, but
Wow. This has been a very interesting series. I've learned a lot and I'm very grateful for the platform, grateful to our organizers, and we've come to the end of this segment, but just so that it's not over yet, next week's service we'll still have another edition with another couple, so anticipate. So thank you so much, Jeewon. So glad to have you here. So this is the end of our Thank you, Junim, Mr. Junim. Thank you, and I'm so happy seeing you. You were smiling throughout. So